Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtimedr. So I've been playing OverHit with the soft launch about the last 3 days, so I'm going to give you guys my analysis here, what I think about it. And overall, I'm having a good time with the game. I've heard people say that this is an Epic 7 killer, which I don't think it is. I don't think it's necessarily going to be anywhere close to the amount of success that Epic 7 has, but that's not to say that this won't be a good game. I actually think this will be a good game. There's plenty more to understand about it. Some of the disconnects we're having right now are essentially the global version has different percentages on a lot of the skills, such as leadership bonuses and active skills, versus the version that was out previously. So as far as tier list and all that goes, like you see the thing above my head there, that is as of, you know, the pre-global launch tier list. So it's a decent thing to go by, but it's not the end-all be-all as far as where things are ultimately going to end up, although I do think for the most part it is pretty solid. So when you get in here, this is basically your lobby right here. As you can see, there's actually a ton of little screens you could go to. But everything kind of makes sense. Now, the guide missions, these are mostly, I don't know what you would call them. Like, basically, they're like the new player missions. For the most part, you see how far they go. And it's going to be going a little while till 77. I'm only on 20-something or whatever right now. And in fact, you know what? I do need to do that dumb guide mission. I don't even know where the guide mission screen is. It just kind of automatically takes me there. These guide missions, it's basically the send your heroes away and they'll get you stuff type missions. So I actually need to go deal with that more later, but for the purposes of the video, go ahead and go into this. Now, I'm actually pretty intrigued by the combat, and go ahead, I'll just take this however far we can get it. Apparently I did a lot of stuff. They also seem to have a lot of like little mini games, like there's a bingo mini game, etc. So you know how it is, the gacha games, they love that random chance. Alright, it take that long? I'll just go. Oh good, okay. Upgrade hero ability 5 times. Well good, I haven't done that yet. So, real quick, let's look at the heroes. Go into that for now. So, my heroes, I haven't been as lucky as a lot of you, but part of that is I resolved to just start playing this instead of re-rolling because re-rolling is quite an annoying process when you're using a VPN, and as well as having to re-download everything. And yeah, I know people are going to tell me, well, you can just go use different emails and stuff like that. And like, I didn't want to go through that whole rigmarole, so I got one SSR, I'm fine. Now, this guy, God, I forget his name, but he's a story character, main character. Actually a pretty good unit. I've seen other videos where a lot of people mistook this guy for a tank. He's not a tank. It clearly denotes it right here. He's a DPS. And, you know, his skills are basically his leadership, increase allies attack by 25. That's actually the opening leadership most people use until you get the monochrome teams. Monochrome being same element teams. And then his 1. Pretty good stuff here, and this is kind of how combat's going to go in this, so you guys can start to build your teams effectively. I'll put out more guides once I get more solid info on what does what. But right now, you got your regular damage, what this move does. This is his basic first skill, which I'll show you guys combat in a bit. And then it also adds a status effect, inflicts burn, does percentage of damage every 10 seconds, twice basically. Success rate 30%, you can improve the success rate with gear and I'm sure buffs. Decrease crit resistance rate by 10%, that's also another debuff. That's pretty good for the enemy. Now, chain effect is a thing that's kind of, I don't want to say unique to this game, but it's what makes combat, I think it's what's going to make the combat really fun later on. So pay attention to this. So deal damage equal to 245.5% of attack to enemies affected by poison, and it is also a guaranteed critical. As far as I've seen, this is the only chain effect I have on my team right now. I'm sure there's plenty of others in the game. I've actually seen a couple, but not specifics. I've just seen them go off. But this is really cool because it adds percentage damage on top of percentage damage that you're already doing. So obviously, if I was, you know, semi-cognitant, I would try to go and get someone who puts poison out so that we could get this, the guaranteed crit plus the bonus damage and etc. So you're probably, I would imagine when in-game hits, that's actually what you're going to be building around. It's going to be mono teams and it's going to be chain effect teams as well. Just something to look out there for. And then, does it show you his one thing? So that's his basic leadership ability. Leadership's actually pretty important in this game, but a lot of the leadership abilities are based on element. So his isn't, so that's why his is actually pretty good early. And then this is his ulti, so regular damage, 211% of attack to enemy times 3. Also puts a debuff out. Decrease the attack, 3 enemies, 28.6%, success rate 100%, duration 60 seconds, etc. So, not a bad hero, and as you see here on the tier list above my head, he is actually considered, believe it or not, and I actually don't believe this one, but considered 4th. Now, for those of you guys that are going to have a hard time reading this, is it doing that white thing? Sorry about that. Whenever I highlight it, for some reason it does that. Well, I just want to highlight it then. You can see there, the way that you read this, I'm not sure exactly what it says, but I can imagine the first 3 things that you see here. One of them is going to be PvP. First one's probably PvE, I would guess. Second one's PvP. Third one, raid boss, is what I'm assuming, unless there's some other mode that's more important. So that's probably, the S is going to be your highest rank, etc. And you see this guy, he actually has A's and everything. A-, so not bad. The next list of stuff, I'm not completely sure, but we can go back in the hero details. We could actually see. Alright, so combat rating, HP, physical attack, etc, etc, etc. That happened. So it's going to correlate with these numbers. Like, most likely these are the max abilities. The last one's level for sure, I know that. What I would guess that the second to last one is probably total HP you can have at base. Third and fourth is probably defense and max attack power, because this guy right here with like the monk looking dude, he's actually known as a tank. The best tank in the game, actually. Which we'll get more into that later, so him having more defense and attack makes sense. Etc. Although you figure that his health would be higher, but apparently he can't get above 40, so maybe that has something to do with it. Well, anyway, so that's kind of how the way things go. Now, as far as the heroes that I have, this is the hero I got on my draw. Her name is Yggdrasil. I assume it's a girl. Never know with these games. Probably a boy. Ends up being a support unit. Now, that kind of reads me in a sense, because support units, early game, late game, great, right? But this unit's actually pretty good though, so for leadership, if you choose to be on, status effect resist rate of allies by 10%, maybe when you get her all the way geared up, that goes up to maybe 25% or something. Not sure. Buff, damage immunity for 1 attack. Pretty nice. And then it'll block anything, by the way, even like super ultimate attacks or just very basic attacks. So if you strategically use that, that's really good. Also decreased skill cooldown, 1 ally, 14 seconds. Always applied on ally with highest attack, so that's pretty good. Attack buffer there, / protector. And then she also has a heal, but the heal is a little bit slow. It's every 8 seconds for 40 seconds, so a little regen based on her attack. Both of the healers I've seen, by the way, are based on their attack. Their heal, how hard their heal hits, basically. It's always a percentage of their attack. I'm assuming it's that way throughout the rest of the game, but I'll let you know otherwise. And then also a defense buff for a minute. So she's actually a pretty sexy character. And then if I go down on the tier list here, she's actually, according to them, the number 2 support in the game. You guys can see that, yeah. So If you guys ever have confusion as to who's who, you can always pull up the 3D portrait of them, but you see her right there. She's the one with the little, I don't know what the hell that is, bear helmet or whatever. So that's really good. And I've seen the girl with the umbrella. She is actually better. I have seen her. So as far as I can tell with the tier list, this is supports. This is... I want to say it's DPSers, but I've seen other DPSers up here. So maybe it's like magic DPS, physical DPS, because all of these characters, I've seen them, the top tier ones. And even these bottom ones are actually story characters, which are pretty cool. You get the story characters for free. So that they're that high up on the rankings, pretty cool. The top tier characters, though, like Luna, that's Luna. And then I forget, one of these guys is like the water caster. She's fucking ridiculous. Even her 2 skill does so much damage. Her ulti's just like ridiculous. And then I'm guessing these are the physical DPSers. So I've only seen a couple of them in action. Pretty good. This dark one in the middle is a story character, I believe. So you get a couple of the story characters right off. And these are tanks. Are they tanks? No, those aren't tanks. Oh, there it is. So Adventure PvP Raid. Yeah, I was right about that on the translation. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, though. These are fighters. Maybe these guys are... Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so these guys are fighters. These guys are whatever, it's like rogues or assassins or whatever in this game. And then these guys are magic casters. So as far as the tier list goes for types of characters, I guess. And then here is your overall tier list. Oh no, this is actually the tanker tier list. That's funny. So he actually reaches number 4 as the tanker. That's hilarious. I am running for my tank. Game. There he is. So not the best tanker, Galek, but he's a storyline character that you get, and he's actually on the tier list. There he is. Oh, that's funny. He's actually a fighter. Shows what I know. Well, anyways. Turns out to be a pretty decent fighter. There he is right there, third from the bottom on the tier list. Has A rank in a lot of things, so... Anywho, I'm running him, and then I'm slowly integrating. My main team right now is the first 3 you see right here. Black. I have leveled this guy. That was kind of dumb of me, actually. He's not in the tier list, but... Tried him out. He's decent. He's fine. I use him for water team stuff. Does a little bit of AoE damage. And then I will probably start buffing, like, this character's pretty good. There's a couple others, but... Anyways, that's pretty much how my team's going right now. Now, as far as how to upgrade characters in this game, there's a bunch of things. Fortify is your basic XP, so get them as close to whatever their max level is. You can raise the level cap as well. You just need a copy of the character. A grade, that is a farmable material that you farm up. You're right here. Get them from B grade to A grade. All their base stats go up. I believe everyone starts at D grade. And then there's a skill thing, so all of your skills, if you want to take it from 1 to 2, gonna take whatever this farming material is. All the farming materials I've seen, obviously on a limited farm schedule, I believe you can clear the dungeons 2 to 3 times a day for the most part, whatever the highest tier is. And then abilities. So ability is like kind of like the Path of Exile, Final Fantasy X tree. Not nearly as big, of course, but you can go over here. You can upgrade whatever you want. And it has 2 dramatic branches, if you notice, once you get past here. So, like if I go down here, it looks like more pierce damage, crit damage. Pierce damage, I believe it goes through a percentage of defense, but not completely ignoring defense. And so this build, if you went heavy this way, it's crit, pierce. Heavy physical is what it looks like. Attack speed +1, which would actually be pretty good. But then up here, it kind of has the same shit. So I'm like confused. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. I mean, I guess maybe the bottom tree has more crit chance stuff. Possibly. Whatever. But anyway, so everyone has their own trees, which is pretty cool. And as far as I've seen, other than gear, that's the only other real way to upgrade stuff. Now gear, it's the same thing you get in most general gachas. You can increase the experience level of it. You can also increase the level cap. Level cap, you just need some copies of the gear. Which I just started getting 3-star gear, so... Not sure how many stars are in the game, but I'm guessing at least 5. And that's pretty much it, so assembling a team, you know, it's stuff I could talk about, but I'll show you when we go do combat. So let's go ahead, we'll go do a combat here so you guys can actually see how things work. This is what I've cleared so far, working on World 8. Right now there's apparently 15 worlds in the game. It's decently hard, guys. It's actually decently hard to clear the campaigns. Not impossible, but, you know, you can get wrecked pretty quickly if you're not minding your P's and Q's, etc. So, at the beginning, you can see what you're fighting. Mono is very important in this game. Well, maybe not mono, but having strong counter characters to whatever you're fighting is really strong. So the elements in this game, same as every other game. Water is strong against fire, fire is strong against... In this game, I believe it is... Earth, something. And then Earth strong against water. So I'm gonna have an Earth frontline hero. What I'm gonna try to do. So take a friend unit, I think Hashi or somebody. You just click it real fast, yeah. Oh, we'll try this Ringus dude. Looks kind of cool. So in this game, you have to be mindful of who your leadership is, leadership ability, because like I said, most of the leadership abilities... Let's say I was to replace him with her. Defense of all light allies by 40%. Status resist of all allies 10%. Crit rate, crit damage. Damage taken of light allies, etc. So I'm choosing to go with damage. And then also you have to worry about the formation. So in this case, since there is a water team, if this guy wasn't worked up so high, I actually wouldn't even have him on this map, but he's one of my only units I'm using right now, so... We're just gonna have to hope that... Oh yeah, one other thing about formation. The farther back you go, this is 15%, takes 15% less damage, takes 30% less damage. You can have, I believe, 3 people. Oh, I guess not in this. They actually limit your formation. Some formations you can have 3 people in one line, so... And then let's just get going here, so I'll show you guys how this works. Never done combat while recording a video, so I'm not sure how lag and quality is gonna go, but it's been good to me in general so far. Game's got a storyline. If you want to skip, it'll give you like the Dragalia lost. You know, it'll show you whatever happened. And then you begin. So the way combat works, I'll slow it down for you guys. Here she is, Miss Killer. Oh, and then at the end of the video, guys, I'll give you guys a quick recommendation of heroes I think you should save up for. Oh, I forgot to go over one of the other heroes, too. I'll do that when we're in combat. Yeah, it's performing pretty good. Oh, I forgot. Fucking auto doesn't... Okay. Pause it. So auto in this game, it doesn't stop. They're always fighting each other with basic abilities. But auto basically makes it so that your guys will use their particular abilities. Now, these are the health bars below. And this is how many stages you have to complete is up here. Now, what's going to happen is... By the way, there's a log, too, if you really want to see your stuff going on. All of these skills have second cooldowns. So you saw, like, this character... She has a thing where she increases the haste of your highest attack hero by 14 seconds. That can actually make a difference on the ultimate cooldown, because I forget what the freaking cooldown number is. Shut up. Anyway, so then the other character I didn't get into... God forbid, I don't even remember her name, but she's the free SSR that we were all guaranteed on day 1, so they just give it to her. She's actually probably, arguably the best healer in the game, but definitely one of the top 2. There's another hero you can get that does certain things better. But this is actually a very good healer, guys. So you can see her on. Let me go to the tier list. Is she? Yeah, there she is, right there. Awesome. Well, let me go look. Yeah, I guess that is her. Well, anyway, she's not a bad hero. It must be just like, probably in the original server, she must not be that good anymore. But for us, they gave us a super buffed version. So what she can do, her number 1, she heals 3 allies for 161.5% of her attack. Which is very good. Very good at keeping heroes up. Actually having issues here. And then she has a resurrection on her too, which restores the ally at 50% health. Yeah, I should actually pay attention to what I'm doing. So, what you can do in combat, you can preset which abilities you want to use. And it will slowly use them over that time. So right now, I want the resurrection to go off so I can hopefully get back this friend unit that apparently didn't last. Then after that, this is the AoE defense, along with a little bit of HP regen skill. And by the way, when one person uses an ability, it cools it down for everybody, so that actually just kind of screwed me up since he decided to use that. And we're screwed on this stage. I guess we... I was about to say, I guess we could win. Alright, let me take another hero. I guess that hero... Back. Alright, let's do it right this time. So that one, the reason that I lost, aside from me letting auto go while I was explaining things, this dude's actually taking bonus damage. I should actually probably put him in way back. But, get a hero. Like Hashi's guy. Hashi knows how to build his units. And then it could just be I just need to work up some other heroes, which I do no matter what, but I mean for this particular battle, we'll go ahead with... That works a little bit better. Because I know these guys can make it to the last part, I'm just not sure if they can get out the win at the end. Also, the lack of a really good tank is actually kind of hurting me. I'm going to have to go look at what I have and just decide what to go with for now. But while we're doing this, let me go ahead and give you guys, so far, my recommendations for which heroes are really good and that you should go for. I mean, obviously, this is a tier list and you can go, but keep in mind this is also the Korean tier list. I would actually tell you, because after 7 days of playing this, you get a free SSR selector ticket. If you don't have a tank, I would actually tell you to get this dude right here. Yeah, get this dude right here. His name is Labor. He is a ridiculous godlike tank, because some of these characters that are on this list actually aren't out yet. But Labor is a ridiculous tank, so if you can get him, he's going to be good against everything except for his counter element, and I believe... Otherwise, his skills are just ridiculous. You see your max health, plus for the front column, which is pretty crazy as a passive. 6-star passive, fixed damage reduction for 5 allies, 37.1%, bleeding immunity 3 times. That's pretty good, because if you get bled in this game, I think it takes your defense down. So super good, super awesome stuff. Otherwise, the other characters that I've seen that are really good, let me go find them. Combat every once in a while. Yeah, it looks like they do. So this girl right here on the moon, I believe her name is Luna. She's pretty freaking ridiculous. As far as pretty much everything. You see how she's pretty much S-ranked in everything. Her damage is good. She's actually fairly tanky for her class. Not like she can tank lots of damage, but she doesn't go down easily. And just a super hard-hitting, good little AoE hero. So if you get her, she's pretty good early. From what I've seen. Who's the other one? I mean, if you're lucky enough to get the girl with the rainbow hat, that's the other healer that I was talking about earlier. She's pretty sick. Don't know exactly her abilities. I should have looked at it. Some of my friend units have them. And who the DPS was that I really liked. The beach. I forget if beach. You know what? Let me go. Okay, I'll skip the story and then I'll show you guys. Why did that get smaller? Oh, I know why. Roll up. That girl, by the way, with like the boy shorts that are torn, she's actually pretty good too. A lot of the storyline characters you get in this game are pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead, let's see if I can pull one of the good units. Here's actually... Oh, maybe that's... It's kind of hard when you're comparing, like, the pictures of, people in the game versus their 2D pictures. Well, we'll go look at us. Oh, is that tank? Yeah, I think so. Alright, yeah, let's take out the tank. That's weird. If he is the tank, then he has a different name than in the games and stuff. But whatever. Alright, so let's see how this goes. If I get a chance, I'll show you guys Luna. Ridiculous deep she puts up. Yep, that is him. Okay. So, look at his skills. Cast Bear on ally times 3, blocks up to 458 plus 7.8 of attack worth of damage. 30 seconds. Applies taunt on self, making priority targets for enemies. Success rate 100%. So he's got taunt. 30 seconds. Whatever the cooldown is. 58 seconds. That's pretty good. I'm sure it gets better as it levels. And then he has Azura's Path. Deal damage equal to 138% of attack to 4 enemies. Inflict silence on enemy times 4 for 20 seconds. 30%. Now, this game also does have, similar to Epic 7, a lot of gear that will have different status effects. So it could be bonus defense, it could be increased chance to put up status elements, more HP, etc. But as far as the upgrading goes, at least from what I've seen, and that's maxing gear, there might be something when you increase the gear's max level. But with maxing gear, it'll show you ahead of time that, hey, it has a static percentage bonus to whichever of the abilities. It's not RNG like Epic 7, which that's actually one of the things I don't like about Epic 7, is how you'll have a good piece of gear, and then it'll upgrade 5 times the stat that you don't want it to upgrade because it's RNG. That's just the way it is. Comes the freaking Yggdrasil. So this thing, it does a defense buff along with a regen every 8 seconds for 40 seconds. Pretty nice. So yeah, there's an example of the tank. Does a good job. I can't speak to the specifics of his gear, but he was A rank as far as how upgraded he is, so that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna try to find you guys one of the DPSers, whether it's the caster or one of the physical ones. That's super good. Go for it. Actually, let's look at Butter to see if I... Alright, that's fine. Yeah, she's got black hair. No, maybe that. I think it's her, though. So we'll just go with that. Now... One thing I don't like about this game, you always have to re-edit the formation for some dumb reason. And I've looked and seen if there's like a perma formation thing. And apparently... Maybe there is, I'm just missing it, who knows, but... Alright, so let's... Here. I'm not that into the story, I don't think it's that good, honestly, but who knows. It turns out to be really good. Yep, that's Luna. Alright, so here's what Luna can do. Just her auto there did ridiculous damage. Damage equal to 175.1% of attack to enemy times 3, remove a buff. That's the one I was telling you actually does really good damage. And then this one, 100% of attack to enemy times 4. Deals additional damage equal to 63.8% of attack to enemies affected by chill. So, run her with someone with chill. Clearly that'd be really good. Toxic oil. Hopefully she can get off one of her skills here. In fact, I'm gonna preset it. See that damage, that's pretty freaking good. But Luna's definitely one of the heroes I would say go for. If you're gonna be a reroller. DPS is ridiculous. Next time up. Heal. But what? Just do her ultimate just cause. For entertainment purposes. I die. I die! Yeah, apparently they guarded somehow. That might have been an ability they had where they were buffed. Oh well. Alright, we should clear this. But yeah, Luna's one I would definitely recommend getting. I think... Yes, because I don't think these top two are out. I've never seen her. I look for this dark person. I do what element they are, but I guess we'll try dark. And then I'll do one more combat after this one. Go off another character, then I'm sure you guys are good on that. And then I'll show you guys all the different modes and what they do, brief explanation, etc. Or if there was a way you could look at a log for total DPS, but apparently not. Alright, so next battle. Dark. Someone that's like pearl and leather. Ah, looks like her. Well, I guess we're going with that then. So, well, I've seen some SRs make it that high. I kind of doubt that's her though. Oh, I know who that is. That's not her. She has like a... She looks like Tira from Soul Calibur. She has that big circle thing. Ah, that's too bad. Alright, well, let me try to search out someone else. Might be her. We'll go with that. Hopefully it's her. If not, I apologize. It's really hard to tell from the 2D cutouts who some of the characters are, because they suddenly have different hairstyles and stuff. So here we go. The moon. Yeah, I guess I do. Doesn't have that full black on though, but there are different costumes. But combat's pretty fun. It takes a while to get into it, honestly. Honestly, at least for me it did. But, the more I understood about it, the funner it got. And I'm kind of wishing I could create a synergy team that had at least 2 of the... what are they called? The chain effects. 2 chain effects that made sense. So, like, if you had Luna in the team, you would need someone that would freeze. And then, if you're running this guy, having someone that poisons really good. And as close to either a mono team or a synergized buff team or whatever as you could get. Now, as far as what I've been hearing from the late game in this, guys, it's a lot of raids, high-end PvP is there, as well as... how did I say? Building synergy, I guess, is the quickest way to explain it. Mono teams become very important, as they do in most MOBAs, mobile games. And not only SSR units. There are not enough SSR units currently, as the game will be in the launch state, to have an all SSR, like water team or whatever. So... you are going to have to build some of the SRs. Now, we get a bunch of good SRs from the storyline and just going through the story advancement. Like this dude right here, he's a SR unit. And then there's a couple more, like he's an SR unit, I showed you him earlier. And these 2 are SR units, I think that one's an SR unit too. So, etc. So, you're gonna have to, as you're building these characters up and leveling them to 40 and 50, you're going to have to be thinking, okay, which character is going to synergize with which character, etc. And that's still all... personally, I'm trying to sort that out, but, you know, that'll take some time and stuff will pop up, etc. Alright, so that's enough of the combat. Now, as far as other things going on in this game, and I'll try to go through this as quick as possible. There's guilds. Guilds, from what I can tell right now, they're literally just there for daily bonuses. So you see here, login bonus stuff. Higher your guild is, the more of this stuff you get. This stuff on the end is action points, which is your stamina in this game. Regens 1 every 5 minutes, typical of most gacha games. And other than that, unless something else is coming, that's pretty much all I've seen that guilds do right now. Oh, there's also skills too. Arn is the gold in this game. So, but there's no like PvP. As far as I've seen, there's no guild dungeon or anything like that. So you can use guild heroes or guild teammates characters, so that's really cool. Now there's a hard mode on story. I've yet to unlock it. I don't know, maybe I need... yeah, so whatever unlocks it is whatever unlocks it. And then, as you can see here, there's a bunch of different screens. So the assemble screen. I wonder if this is working. No, because I wanted to. Well, whatever. But you can build multiple teams here. Now, event screen. That's basically like quest login stuff. Was login bonuses. There's missions. That's all pretty new. Guide missions, that's the thing I showed you at the screen. And then the shop in this game, as far as what to buy, of course they've already launched all the pay-to-win stuff. But there is, as well as you can spend stuff for stamina or gold. These are upgrade materials, which, to be perfectly honest, that's actually pretty cool that you can buy a certain amount. That's probably a decent use of early game crystals. I have no idea what this currency is. Maybe that's the pay-to-win currency. And then friend point items. So you can get stamina, you could get gold, whatever you need. And gold, Arn is actually, so far, kind of hard to keep a hold of. As far as what you spend from upgrading. So... And then crafting. So crafting in this game, a little bit different. Load it up. So, yeah, the tutorial thing popped. Anyways, you can craft hero summon tickets. They do have shard gacha in this a little bit. So you need a certain amount of shards. And then there's also character shards. I guess that doesn't actually come up. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know about that part. But then synthesized soul stones. Like, let's say... There are, later on, by the way, ultra rare characters that are apparently rare enough to where even whales that have been playing this game for as long as it's been out don't even have any of them. And maybe they have one or two if they're really lucky. But, you know, this is months worth of playing, so these characters are actually spending money even. I mean, it's going to speed up the process, but it's not going to necessarily guarantee anything. So this is the shard gacha I was talking about, where you can keep crafting copies of the heroes. And I know a lot of you are annoyed with shard gacha, but you can farm the storyline characters one. So I've seen Ashe, I've also seen Girls. I've been farming hers a little bit. She's probably going to be a little more valuable than Ashe, just because she's a main healer. But anyways, you can get copies and then you upgrade them, and it increases their level, I think, by 5 levels. You can get skill stones. If you want, you can craft the next higher level is the way I think it goes. So the higher you get in ranking up your skills, the more you're going to need that. And treks, I showed you that. That's kind of where the, you know, send your characters away for X amount of hours. You can still use the characters, by the way, so it's pretty good. Guide. The good thing about Guide, go to Heroes Guide. The more of these that you fill out, they'll start giving you, like, crystals and Arn, etc. So, really good. And then we get to the special dungeons. Now, the special dungeon, this is where all your farming stuff's at. So, Terra Shift. You can farm Arn, you can farm upgrade materials, and you can also get armor stuff. And this is actually pretty good once you get to the higher tier levels for farming gear. Upgrade materials, that's upgrade materials for your characters. I want to say it's their skills, but it could be their rarity. One or the other. So you can do both of those dungeons twice a day. Dimensional Gate, this is where you come for the character shards I was showing you earlier. You'll need to unlock all the rest of these. And then Raid. So Raid, a little bit hard at first, but when you finish a Raid, so far, the Raid has been the place where I have found the most upgraded gear, which is the 3-star currently for me. Now, I don't know how long that's gonna go, but... And then you can start your own raid bosses as well. So, like the graphite code. I never had the graphite codes before. That was pretty cool. And then these charge up at the rate of, I think it's 1 per hour, so you can do up to 5 raids, which I really should try to do. But I'm doing a video. And then this is like a world boss, is what I'm imagining. So eventually, once I unlock that, or maybe it is unlocked and the boss just isn't there, whatever's going on. That's there. Challenges. Challenges is kind of like the arena's there, and the exploration is there. Exploration is very basically, you send your characters on a never-ending, actually it does end, but it ends after a while, path of challenges. And eventually they're either going to all die or they'll clear it. And if they clear it, then apparently you're going to be able to unlock the next higher ranked version and get, I assume, better drops and better currency, etc. So, and then it'll tell you, hey, there's water type units, so this is what you need the mono teams for later on to go and clear the high-end challenges. And then after that, Combined Shop is something I still don't understand because it has, you know, like all your package stuff and your, you know, your ranking upgrade systems and stuff. But then, like, Legendary Gacha is its own currency, which I'm imagining this is probably the pay-to-win currency, the little summon token there. This is your regular draw currency. Every time you do a 10 draw, it stacks this, and then once you get this high enough, you actually get this, which is the premium currency thing. So it takes 10 of these to get one of those, and then to summon one of these legendary heroes, only SSRs appear, which is pretty cool. You need 30 of them, so you'll be spending a lot of time doing the summon. If you want to get to the legendary gacha, but the rewards look pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Combined Shop also had a lot of other things. Hero is just the screen. Gacha, I've already showed you that. But we'll go to it because if I have any summon, you know. Reset's gonna happen. Oh, I actually do, but I'm saving tickets. Because I want it to be a 10 summon, so that it'll hopefully stack with this. Not sure if it will, but if it does, that's good. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that there is for now that I understand, guys, on this game. Really good. There's friend currency, so obviously you should try to make as many friends as possible. Which, by the way, if you guys want to think how to get mine. Or you just unlock the main. Yeah, right there. So, you want to friend me, 203-028-708, playing right now. I'm going to keep playing this. I'm expecting this game's probably going to have a hard launch within 2 months. And this soft launch that's been in Canada and Australia only, that's going to last. And who knows what's going to happen with these heroes on this server. Might get reset, server might be closed because it's full, etc. So, and I'm imagining a bunch of new people aren't going to want to play on an established server because it'll take that much longer to catch up on PvP, etc. Unless you're a whale, then you could probably get it pretty quick. And yeah, that's all I got to say for this game, guys. So right now, definitely a non-Epic 7 killer. Epic 7's its own thing. I can see it killing some other games off, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, because there's a bunch of games, like Netmarble's releasing a 7 Deadly Sins game that's similar to this in some ways, 3D. And there's just a bunch of other games coming out. We're in a little bit of a lull period right now for most games, but probably within the next 2 months you'll see this, maybe the Brave Exvius tactical game, that Netmarble game I just mentioned, and then we're also all waiting for, you know, various other games. There's like a Legend of Dragoon one apparently coming, ripoff, and remember the other ones? Tower of Babel's coming, etc. So I could go on all day, but alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this. Do have a tab currently. It's not that active right now because most people don't live in Australia and Canada, but if you're playing this game, yo, come on in. You know, let me know some particulars if you feel like it. And that is it for me, so I will catch you guys later on. Try to put out some more videos today. I'll see you guys later on. Oh, I guess I'll do my promo. I don't do my promo anymore. I'm not in the... I haven't been in the funk. I have been in a funk. So here we go. Yo, I'm Showtime Doctor, Showtime DR. You found my YouTube. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Also, check out the links in the title info. There's a link to my Discord. Like I said, we got an OverHit tab. Also a link to my Twitch. I streamed this on my Twitch, I think 2 streams ago. You know, maybe like once a week I'll do it. I try not to overdo gacha on my Twitch, because it kind of pisses some people off. So, and that's it for me, guys. So, I'll catch you later on. Have a great day. Bye-bye.